Hi, divas. As you know, Trixie is on break, so I'm solo here on the podcast to tell you that we are bringing you more Bald and the Beautiful live shows this fall. That's right, we're going to be in Baltimore, Providence, Columbus, and a whole bunch of other East Coast cities that I don't have on the script in front of me. But all tickets and info will be at trixieandkatyalive.com, so get your panties in check for the best damn podcast you've ever seen. We're back with Sapphira Cristál for another, this is part deux, the remix, the sequel. This is the Bald and the Beautiful. I'm bald, she's beautiful. Part deux with Sapphira Cristál.
Welcome we're back. We're back.
Thank you for coming back.
Thank you for having me back.
You're back again. And we were just talking about
back again.
Yeah, we were just talking about the early days of Drag Race and just being a bitch, being a
girl.
cunt.
I just remember. I love those days.
Yeah.
I love watching it.
Yeah,
I don't know if I would have been able to be a part of it.
I would. You know what I would have done? I would have shrunk into the background.
You would have seen a different beast, actually.
Really?
And that's the reason why I'm glad I was never on those seasons.
Your claws would have come out.
Oh, not claws. I'm a scary person. Okay. It is terrifying, and I've gone to therapy for anger management, and have really gotten it. But I'm a big person, and my dad's a trainer for the UFC. Boop. I know how to fight. Boop. I also know how to argue. My parents were, baby. I am not that girl. I am the girl who you do not want to try at all because I will make you cry
and bleed. Damn,
we won't even get to that point. You'll be crying before you start bleeding.
Fucking A. Well, shit. I mean, yeah, the early days of Untucked and the all those iconic moments are so cunty, but I can't fight with people.
No, I think it's just so straining to your energy. My body after I've been in a fight or if I've been in an argument, I'm just like, that was too much. I can't do this anymore, but I will whoop that ass. Do not.
You are tired from whooping that ass. It's always interesting. The fighting is. I'm not a fighter. I've had very little arguments with people, and I'm always amazed to see couples argue, and then time is what usually is the things just get better with time. You get less
dick.
Well, right, but I mean, right.
Every once in a while, you just
the anger sex. You fuck it
the
out.
pain away.
That's true. I forgot about
that. Baby,
if we have a fight, breakup sex. Yeah.
I used to be like, we're not fighting. Let's go. One of my rules for relationships was once we start arguing, clothes come off. Okay. I'm not mad if we are naked. So you want to argue? Let's take our clothes off and see how we feel.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then we just fuck it out. All that energy out, and then we can just talk.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like you just raise your voice at me, panties drop.
Take them down. Take them down. Let's do it. Oh, you want to fuck?
Oh, so you really want to fight?
Really want to fight? Oh, let's do this right now, honey. We about to hear some smacking, honey.
Imagine if that was the unofficial strategy on Drag Race Untucked. What'd you say, you bitch? Drop the panties.
Let's go. Talk about a smackdown.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my God. I was, we were thinking, we were talking about Jacques last time you were on. I don't know if you ever did the hooking up in drag or all that stuff.
Girl, I have a song written after me.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
So, do you remember we used to have that show that night at Machine?
Yes.
Called
was it on Mondays or
Pumps?
Wednesdays.
Wednesday Pumps.
Pumps, yes.
For the girls.
The girls and their admirers.
For the girls and their admirers.
Yes. For the gentlemen that love to worship the girls and the dolls.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And every once in a while, someone would come, and there's this guy who came to Pumps. And I took him to the coat check and did some things. I let him know what time it was. And then he let me know what time it was.
You read him the Riot Act.
Honey.
And then he read you the Patriot Act.
And then a song was made.
And then you made Sister Act.
Well, he has a sister now. So.
Then you turned him
out
like a werewolf. That is unfortunately, since Drag Race, pretty much that element of getting into drag, that the allure of maybe something sexual or sensual or erotic is happening, has pretty much evaporated.
Yeah, it's hard to do, especially when you do this all the time for work. It's just like
there's no, for me anyways, there's hardly ever an element of feeling pussy.
Oh,
you feel the opposite of pussy nowadays.
Yeah,
you feel like, I don't know what the opposite of pussy is. You feel like a beat up granny.
Maybe you do, but I feel like a gorgeous woman.
Sure,
but I don't feel like the puss sexual being in drag that I used to. Yeah. Especially, drag is so big. My drag is so big now, and I'm like, people see me and they're like,
right.
It's not even like they're like, sir. It's just like,
it's larger than life.
It's larger than life. It's superhuman.
Yeah, it's not. Like, you can't even imagine like what it would, how you would even get to the bedroom with a man.
Well, see, they come to the door and they're like, here, and then they see me and they go,
aha,
like, oh. I'm too gorgeous for you.
Yeah,
that must be what it is.
Yeah. You're too overwhelmed by my beauty to have an erection.
Yeah,
because all the blood is going to your brain to kind of process
your brain and your heart and your soul, honey.
Yeah, but I miss it, and I miss those little excursions. Maybe it was
good, especially in Boston. Baby.
My God, those little excursions. Pump Wednesdays or Wednesdays and Thursdays at Jocks were always the night where typically, like there was less action on the show side of the bar and more on the mingle side of the bar by the pool table. Yeah. And it was always I would tiptoe down there and in a very accessible outfit. Yeah, no pads or anything like that. Of course. Like a circle skirt with a flare with no panties underneath. Whatever.
Back in the day, where you can have a straight body and people are like, oh, I love that.
That's it's whatever. It doesn't matter. You certainly weren't getting photographed and you weren't on stage or anything like that.
And ultimately, they did not care. They don't care.
That was the ultimate gag. I'll never forget. It was so bittersweet when I learned that they just want like, it's like in the cartoons.
Put a wig on your fucking head.
Put a wig on a mop pole. They literally want like the pole and the mop. That's all they need.
They don't care.
They don't care. I had a paid gig for this guy, a hooker gig, and it was scheduled for 11 a.m. He was good and the money was good, but I overslept. And I woke up at 10:30 and I was like, fuck. I texted him, I'm sorry, I'm going to be late. He's like, just put a wig on. And I was like, what? Excuse me, just put a wig on? And I was floored because I was like, I've been going through all this.
And I could have just
put a wig on? I could have just had a wig on. But at the same time, I did put a wig on and I did not enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean, like.
I did not enjoy it. I had to get in the shower and shave super smooth. Because I'm not doing a wig and or like a beard.
Yeah.
And I know that he would not want that.
No, I mean, they want you to be smooth. They want they want the illusion. Yes. They think that the thing is, they think that they know what you're going to look like without the makeup. Mama. And then they see it and they go, oh.
Yeah. Or when I have certain requests being made, and like he said, do you have any black hair? I was like, Mama, you don't want me in black hair.
No,
you don't want me in black hair. You don't want me in a brunette wig. It's like, I know what you think you want, but I cannot provide that fantasy for you because I will look ugly as hell,
honey.
And in the whole like he wanted me to be like a brunette cheerleader. I was like, that's not me, Mary. Like, it's not going to happen. But yeah, it was it's always humbling, and then it's always really humbling when you talk to your girlfriends and realize that y'all fucked the same guy, and that the guy has gone to every drag
single
queen,
one of the girls,
some of them looking like dogs,
and you're like, oh, you got. Oh,
so it's like, because you thought you were that girl.
You
thought you knew you were that girl.
You knew you were her, and you knew that you were she, and then you thought that at some point, girl, I'm taking the same girl that these everyday women are getting, and I am, I'm on the occasion girl. And
nothing special about you, ho. Nothing special. You could
put a wig on a dog, and they would have just gone to town.
It's so humiliating, and it's so that's why at a certain point,
that's why I stopped really caring about what they want.
Well, I stopped telling people.
I started caring about what I want.
Okay.
Okay. I started going, okay, as long as I get off, I don't give what's going on in your brain.
Sure.
What do I care about that?
Yeah. Also, sometimes what's going on in their brain is so outrageous and outlandish, such as I was told a couple of times that, if I was told a couple of times by this guy that if he saw me out on the street like this, he would never know that I wasn't a woman.
Okay, girl.
And I was like, we had just done it. So he had
already
bust.
He had already.
And he was saying this. And I was like, I crossed my legs. I turned on the light a little brighter. I said,
what do you think now, sir?
Like, would you care to repeat that sentence? And it's just so crazy. It's so crazy.
I mean, I've woken up with sometimes back in the day. Yeah, sometimes back in the day when I was in Boston, there was this really beautiful eyes and just bottom down. Yeah. And I fell asleep in my house, and he fell asleep next to me. And I woke up, and he was going to town on me. And I was like, oh, hi. Wow. Well, good morning.
Wig on?
I don't know. I don't remember if I even had a wig. I probably did, but
I had one sleepover where I slept in drag.
I slept in drag all the time, and not just because of
you just fall asleep.
I just fell asleep.
Yeah.
I'm in drag.
Okay, that never happened because if I'm sleeping in drag, the next morning it's Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah,
it's Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, and he did not care. He went to town.
They don't care. It's so well because I always forget. Like when I would hook up with these guys, the first 10 minutes, all this makeup is gone because my mouth is so suction cupped to their ass.
Oh, baby.
But all the Russian red lipstick, all the Dermablend, all the contours
right
on
their
ass. It's like a stamp print. And then
take a picture.
Yeah, I mean,
put them around the
house. It's all gone. So, and then they don't care. And I always wanted to get in their head because I do care deeply about what they look like.
Like
deeply.
Like if you come to my house and you don't look like what you said you were going to look like,
you're not coming in.
Go.
Yeah. And because of I'm sure you would agree that in Boston with the supply and demand, we were picking 10s.
Yeah.
10s. I'm talking time. If you line up these
11s.
Men. Hello. You line up these men that we have had sex with in drag in Boston, and if most gay men had to rate them 1 to 10, I'm telling you, a lot of these guys would be 10s.
They'd be like, 10s. You had sex with that guy? I was like
what? That's the most attractive man I've ever seen.
Yes, multiple times.
Multiple times. And it's so wild. This episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Everyone in life is passionate about something. Some people paint portraits, others work themselves silly to afford a sports car in summers in Tuscany. For me, I have always been deeply passionate about bespoke 19th century bicycle restoration. And after I founded my company, Katya's Folks on Spokes, I knew what I needed to get the word out to all the sirs and madams so they knew exactly where to bring their 1875 penny farthing model to get it fixed up and perfectly functional again. Well, it's fall, so it's prime vintage cycling time. Now is the time to sign up for an account at Squarespace. What is Squarespace, you may be asking me? Squarespace is the industry-leading tool where you can make websites for pretty much anything, including how to properly care and restore an 1819 velocipede. And when you launch a line of custom velocipede merch featuring your pet cat Mortimer, boom, Squarespace has your back. Squarespace has a massive portfolio of product features for whatever website you're looking to launch. And after you've launched, let's say you need help with marketing. Well, Squarespace has so many features to help drive sales and engage your audience with creative email campaigns that you'll be making a ton of money and riding on your mint condition 1887 Dunlop across the gently rolling hills of central Italy in no time. And if you have some extra knowledge that you think you can turn into some extra cash, say some detailed information about what oil to use on a 1891 three-wheel Berlin Spiritster Stifer, Squarespace can help you post online courses. That's right. Squarespace has all of the tools you need to create and sell your very own course and even set it up to be a one-time payment and/or subscription. You can even make checkout seamless for your customers with simple but powerful payment tools. The site can accept credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay, and offer customers the option to buy now and pay later with Afterpay and ClearPay. So go ahead and check out squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/bald to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Again, that's squarespace.com/bald to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. As the air turns crisp and the days become shorter, it's clear that the autumnal equinox has passed and spooky season is upon us. It's that special time of year for mulled apple cider, decorative gourds, and most of all, movies that scare the ever-loving crap out of us. Why do we love to be scared? Well, it's either due to the increasing banality of our safe everyday lives, surrounded by seatbelts, clean water, and antibiotics, or it's because of something ridiculously simple. The act of being scared is super fun. But what if our fears don't involve ghosts, zombies, or Chapel Roan's razor-sharp acrylic nails? What if those fears are real and not quite as fun as the new movie The Substance starring the legendary Demi Moore? Therapy can be a wonderful tool for facing your fears and finding ways to overcome them. Because sometimes the scariest thing is not facing our fears and consequently being held back from living life to the fullest. That's where BetterHelp can provide an assist. Therapy can help you face your fears in a healthy manner and eventually overcome them. I once had an irrational fear of Pomeranians. The neighbors across the street had a dog named Heinrich. They were from Bavaria. Little Heinrich was the sweetest little dog who wanted nothing more than to give kisses and get his butt scratched. But for some reason, every time I saw that little fluff ball, my heart would race, my palms would sweat, and inevitably I'd run away to my bedroom and take solace in my large collection of Cabbage Patch dolls. If therapy was available back then, perhaps I could have left my bedroom and let Heinrich shower me with kisses and love that I so richly deserved. If only I had BetterHelp. With BetterHelp, you can schedule sessions whenever and wherever it's most convenient. That's because BetterHelp is designed to work with your crazy life, no matter how busy you are. I love BetterHelp because I don't have to drive to a dimly lit doctor's office on the other side of the city, just to look at months-old highlights magazines as I wait for the previous patient to finish. I can do it from the convenience of my living room. Listen, people, if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Overcome your fears with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/bald today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/bald.
Did you ever think that
one of my favorite stories, please. And this is years ago, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Okay.
There was this guy, and he had a family that had like a family restaurant, and he was staying in the the apartment that was above the family restaurant. We went upstairs. He took me. When I say gorgeous, this man was beautiful. Body, just built, face of Adonis, just so pretty. He took me upstairs. Number one, it's daytime. And I'm like, oh shit. What? God damn, okay. So he takes me upstairs and he goes, do you want something to eat? And I go, what? And he goes, my family has the restaurant downstairs. So I was like, oh, it's an Italian restaurant. I want some chicken carbonara. Love chicken carbonara. He goes downstairs and gets me chicken carbonara from this restaurant. And when I tell you that's the best motherfucking chicken carbonara I ever had in my goddamn life, this beautiful man fed me and then took my dick all day long. And it was so and then he was like, at some point he was like, oh, can I fuck you? And I was like, this is the days when it was happening.
Okay.
I said, sure. And at some point I turned around and his penis wouldn't stop growing. Oh my God. I said, how big does it get? He goes, I don't know. And I don't think he did because it wouldn't stop growing. I was like, is there a balloon attached to it? What is there a pump? Like, what's happening here? It just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I tried, and I did, but and it was lovely. It was very lovely. And I think about him to this day.
Back in the day, he
didn't have the Southie accent.
Okay.
He was South Italian.
Okay.
So he didn't have the Southie accent. You know that.
Well, my guy was Southie Irish.
Oh.
Okay. So this dude,
you're so fucking hot.
This motherfucker was 22 years old.
Yeah.
And he could go 5 times. So it was unbelievable to me. I would never come because once I come, it's a wrap. I'm blowing on hot chamomile tea. I got rollers in my hair. I'm pointing at the door. And so he would bust so we would go at it. The man was never soft.
No.
Never soft.
No.
Hard steel. Dick is hard as steel. You could hang off the edge of a cliff holding on one hand from this dick. It was so rigid and firm. He would bust, and then we'd smoke a cigarette in the apartment. And then I would start to massage his shoulders. The dick starts to rise immediately.
That's crazy.
And then we go at it again. 5 times was the most we ever did it. He bust 5 times. I could not believe that kind of ability or physical virility, whatever you fucking call it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Even at 22, I never was able to
at 22,
do
I could do that.
Never.
And I mean, I've had partners who, I mean, I make a lot of my partners come a lot of the time and a lot of times. It's kind of my thing. I love to watch my partners reach a climax.
Sure.
And then I'm kind of the same way. Like once I've come,
it's right.
Call it a night. I'm done. Yeah. But I also last a very long time.
Yeah.
So like, it's just like, okay, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it for a while. And then I'm going to make sure that I watch you come as many times as I can. I mean, my ex I've probably seen many people come. I think the most times was like 12.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But I have sex with people who.
Oh, right. Sure. Yeah, not exactly. Yeah. Penises and not penises and everything in between.
Yeah, anybody can ride this just ride.
Are you over 18? Come on down.
Yeah. Well, do I think you're attractive? And like, am I attracted to you in that way?
Of
like,
course, that. Yeah.
I'm not just like, do you have a hole? Can I put my pole in your hole?
Is it legal?
Is it legal? Is it legal? Well, what state are we in?
Shit. I missed those days, and it's every once in a while. This happened when Trixie and I went on the road most recently when do the podcast. I was like, oh, this could be an opportunity for me. I was like, I could post on Grindr in drag and just say, you know what, fuck it, whatever. Who cares? I'm like, oh, but people know it's me. It's like, who fucking cares?
Exactly.
Who cares? Oh my God, I'm so ashamed.
If you posted yourself out of drag and Grindr.
Yeah.
Oh, people know it's you, bitch.
Yeah. I'm always on in Grindr out of drag, so whatever. But there's something like, anyways. So I thought about doing that, and I could get away with it. I was like, oh, but you know what? I don't know. I want to do it because I just miss that. Oh God, the guys are so sexy.
Well, don't go to Grindr.
Well, I know there's other ways.
We're trying to find the men who are into the girls. It's not on Grindr.
No, they are.
Yes.
There are for real. A lot of closeted guys or whatever. There's a whole bunch of people on Grindr. But it was great. It was great. I used to have this guy who got out of jail. He was in jail for 7 years, and jails, marijuana conspiracy. He was moving large amounts of weed way before it was legal, and he used to come during the day. Oh my God!
I think I remember you telling me about this.
Oh my God! He used to wear like a tracksuit with nothing underneath it, just so fierce.
Yeah,
love that shit. Townies,
we love good
townies. Blue collar townies, rough hands.
This is the thing I had about messing around in Boston. And I got a little over it. I think it was later on, but when I first moved to Boston, this one guy came to my house and he had that Southie accent. He was like, "Oh fuck, you're so fucking hot.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to fucking touch you all over your body." And I was just like, "Get the fuck out of my house. Get out." And he was like, "What?" I was like, "You gotta go."
Oh, really?
And it was not. Number one, he didn't necessarily look exactly like he said he was going to.
Yeah.
And I wasn't in drag. This is like me just out of drag. He was just like talking about how hot I was. And for some reason, the frequency of his accent and his voice was so grating that I literally said, "Oh, you gotta go. You can't stay here. You can't be here. Yeah, you're not.
This is a no-you zone.
You gotta go." He was like, "Oh, really?" And I was like, "No, really.
Damn.
Like, get the fuck out of my house." And I just, I really.
What was it about the accent that was so grating? Or is it his voice in particular?
Maybe it was his voice and the accent. It just gave me this, just like, I was like, because I like the Boston accent when it's a little higher.
Okay.
That like Boston.
Yeah.
But it was just like, "Oh, you're fucking hot. I just want to fucking put my fucking hands all over you." And I was just like, And I haven't heard it in a long time, so it's bad. It's a bad impersonation, but you do it really well.
It was like, I mean, it's like I'd imagine what you're talking about is like a Matt Damon and Ben Affleck and Good Will Hunting.
But I like the Matt Damon and Ben Affleck thing if it's a little.
You're not
higher.
better than me.
Yeah, but it was lower.
Okay.
And it was just the way that he was saying the words. I was just like, get the fuck out of here.
Come into my house. Leave her and come into my house. Yeah.
And you would have loved him. If I'm being honest, he would have picked you up.
Love it. I had this plumber come once. My God.
Oh, you like him. You like the blue collars.
I do. I don't want, you know what? It was funny that I guess looking back, it was probably something to do with, it was a little sex addiction-y. Mm-hmm. It was a little compulsive.
Yeah,
I would sometimes there were 3 in a row on a Saturday night, and that third one was it was usually the pattern was the first guy was hot, and I didn't come, but he came quick. The second guy was like, okay, I'm still not satisfied. The second guy was like somewhere in the middle. The third guy was usually some fucking some white collar cokehead.
Oh no.
You know, like some like bro who's like coked up or like too drunk or like. And they're like they're leaving the 2 a.m. club with their friends, and they want to do something a little taboo, and then they hook up with me and they want me to do coke off their flaccid dick or something, and it's just like so nerve and gross.
Yeah,
and they're messy, and they're like they got shit ass, and it's like it's a whole thing. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, the third is never the one.
No, it's never the third.
You never do a third in a row. Like get a grip, Mary.
I usually would like. I've always been very particular about the people I have sex with. So it's like, have you showered? I ask questions. Have you showered?
Yeah.
Are you ready for this? And when I say, are you ready for this?
You know what I'm talking about.
I'm digging deep. Yeah. Are you ready for this? Are we going there?
What is the earthquake preparedness quotient? Are we ready? Do you have water bottles in stock?
Yeah. Like, are you hydrated?
Have you dushed?
Have you
done the douche?
Have you done the
Do you know what that is? Do you
know?
That's the problem with these quote unquote straight identifying guys is that a lot of the times
back in the day, yes. Yeah, now, everybody knows.
Yes, because you can't not know.
If you don't know, what the hell are you doing?
What are you doing?
The internet's there.
Yeah.
You're trying to get fucked in the ass and you didn't.
No. But back in the day, a lot of guys felt that because they were aroused, they were clean. It doesn't work like that.
No.
It doesn't work like that.
No.
It doesn't work like that. I mean, I had this dude ass up. And as the plane was approaching the runway, there was the captain sniffed something unsavory.
No.
And was like, "What the fuck? Are you out of your mind? Like, are you out of your mind? You want me to dive deep into that fat jush and it's like not even remotely clean?
Like, get out of
what
here.
Is the fucking? What is wrong with you?"
There was some. I mean, depending on the guy, and this is back in the day. Now I'm just like, I would rather just sit at home. I mean, I have a partner.
Yeah.
And but like I would rather just sit at home.
Yeah.
And watch TV because when it comes to like these boys, it's just like, ugh, if you can't get it together. But there was once upon a time where I used to be like, okay, come over, and then if they came into my house and they, sometimes they're younger and they just walked here from their house.
Sure.
And I'm like, okay, now get in the shower.
Yeah, get in the shower. Absolutely.
Go get in the shower.
Yeah.
Let's make sure that.
Yeah.
And I would clean them myself.
Mm-hmm.
I would get all up in there and clean all of their body and say, okay, now you're to mama's standards.
This episode is sponsored by ZocDoc. There are very specific times in life when crapshoots are okay. For instance, I recently bought a Russian t-shirt online that reads FBI, Fresh Borscht Inspector. That was a late night purchase that I not only don't regret, but one that will make my life better in a myriad of ways. So if you're trying to decide if the underwear that keep popping up in your Instagram feed are worth the high price tag, I say go for it. Crapshoots are risky, but they can lead to microfiber undies that make your genitalia feel as if they are being cradled by a hammock made of clouds. While crapshoots like these are worth the roll of the dice, finding the right doctor shouldn't be a total crapshoot. That's where ZocDoc comes in. ZocDoc is the place where you can find and book doctors who specialize in the exact field you need, whether that be proctology, dermatology, or sports medicine. You can filter for doctors who take your specific insurance, who are located close to your home if you don't drive, and most importantly, who are highly rated by verified patients. You can also see their real-time appointment openings, choose a time that works for you, and click to instantly book a visit. Plus, ZocDoc appointments happen insanely fast, sometimes within 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even score same-day appointments, but just don't wear that novelty Russian-themed t-shirt because you'll bring shame upon you and your entire family. The best part, though, ZocDoc is free. You can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and instantly book appointments with them online. With ZocDoc, you've got more options than you know. I love ZocDoc because I am a Hollywood A-lister, and I don't have time to wait to see a doctor. If that weird nipple rash happens while I'm on tour again, I need to see a doctor as soon as possible. I cannot be at my best on stage with itchy areola. ZocDoc helps me find the best doctor in my area and book them fast. If I can find a great doctor, so can you. And all because of ZocDoc. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/bald to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/bald. ZocDoc.com/bald.
Because I have a very sensitive sense of smell. It's extremely sensitive to the point that I'm like, the door. Yeah. I love saying the door. Oh, I love pointing people to the door. It is my favorite. Get out. Get out. And
look at this finger.
And then they go.
Follow it. Keep looking. Do not let your eyes. Follow that finger. What does she point to?
Where's she going?
Yeah,
and that's where you're going. I love saying the door. It's my favorite thing. Get out.
Very empowering.
Well, after feeling so underpowered, if that's a word.
Powerless.
From just
vulnerable.
You're vulnerable.
Yeah.
If, when you're just with people and you're trying to feel your zhuzh, and then all of a sudden you don't feel so great. Or like I've had a threesome once, and they gave me Molly for the first time, and I never had Molly. And it was the one thing about me is I can always get hard. It does not matter. That was like my whole thing. Like I can fuck you for hours. That's like it was a point of pride for me. And this couple gave me Molly, straight couple, and well, she was straight. He was trying to get me to fuck him in front of his girlfriend. And so they gave me Molly because they were like, yeah, we're going to do some Molly. We're going to have fun. Baby, Molly is a bottoms drug.
Yeah, you cannot get hard on Molly.
You cannot at all. And I did not know that. And they gave me a lot of it. Oh, shit. And at some point, we're like doing things. And I'm like, it's working. And I'm like, oh, this is weird. I was like, well, while you do that, while this starts to do this thing, I'm going to eat her out. And he's going to like eat me out and yada, yada, yada. And then at some point I was like, what did you give me?
Yeah.
What did you do to me?
Yeah.
Because this always
not
works.
A great feeling.
What's happening?
Yeah.
And it felt horrible that day. And they were like, oh, okay. Guess you're not ready for this.
Oh.
And I was like, how dare you? Later on I fucked him.
Okay.
I fucked him a lot. And it was just like one of those things that I was just like, at some point, I'm not auditioning for you. This is not this thing. You come, and this is an experience that you get to have.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no reason for me to ever feel like I'm the person who should be being as vulnerable. And so I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I am the experience, and if I don't think that you deserve this experience, you can hit the door.
Yeah. I am the fantasy. You're not the one.
I am the fantasy. I am the reality.
Last episode, I think we got about 12 seconds into your time on Drag Race. So maybe
we've
gone back further.
Let's talk about fucking and drag.
I want to talk. When I watched the talent show, and you're like, you look so crazy. You look so larger than life, amazing, and you're doing the what is it called?
O mio babino caro.
Why was RuPaul laughing?
So because
of the lyrics?
Yeah, the lyrics are my dear father.
Right.
And I pointed right at RuPaul when I said my father.
Okay. I was like, I didn't get that.
So I said, O mio babino, and I like ruse there, and I was like, oh, my father.
Gotcha.
And she just goes, oh, this is funny.
Okay.
And that was the whole point. It's just like me to call Rue, my dad.
Yeah.
And then that's why she goes, why did you point at me when you said father? And I said, you know why, Daddy.
Yeah. But while I was like, it's so funny. It was great. When did you start singing like that?
I've been singing classically since I was like 12, 13 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd you start singing?
In church originally.
But these vibrato arias or whatever, like the opera shit.
I went to performing arts high school. I went to HSPVA, and when you go to that kind of school, they start you with classical music. And then I went to the Eastman School of Music and studied there. And then I went to the Laundry School of Music, which is how I ended up in Boston.
Okay.
Laundry's in
Boston's
Cambridge.
a big music town.
Oh, so big. Like there's
Boston Conservatory,
Berkeley, BU, BC.
BC, but wait. Yeah, BU, BC. The Berkeley's huge.
Berkeley.
Yeah.
Laundry is in Cambridge. And it's not even a big school. It's like two big mansions. And that's
Did you like going to school in Boston?
No. Okay. I got kicked out. I didn't even graduate.
For being too sexy.
Uh-huh. Yeah. No, I cursed out two administrators.
Work.
I cursed them the fuck out. I said,
you kicked them. You kicked them out of your house for giving you Molly. You said, "How dare you gave me this drug that my dick can't get hard. Get out." No, actually, you get out of our school.
That's literally what happened.
Oh my God. And so the Drag Race. When you, what were you like? Expectations versus reality experiences on Drag Race, because I have a lot of them, and there's really famously no preparation they give you for what the experience is going to be like.
Well, luckily I knew so many people.
I guess so. Yeah.
Like I knew you.
But still, though, when you go, it's like there's nothing really anybody can tell you that.
No, they can't. I decided to make it what I wanted it to be, and I'd heard everyone's experience, and I said, well, none of these people are me.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to do me, and I'm going to be myself. And I had a blast. Yeah. I had the most fun. It was like, I think earlier we were talking, it's like not prison, but it was like
it's a forced vacation.
A forced vacation.
And I
remember saying that.
Whatever the opposite of prison is, but it's like it's pleasurable it's like positive captivity. What does that mean? It's like
what is the thing when you go off Mayo Clinic? Something like that.
Rehab?
It's kind of like rehab.
It's the spa.
The spa.
Yes.
It was the spa.
It's the wellness retreat.
The wellness retreat.
It's the wellness retreat.
Especially for drag. Because when you get back, you feel so much better. Your drag is so much better. Your concept of what you want in your life is so much more realized.
And what you were saying yesterday, the structure is very... that is a very positive thing.
Yeah, especially for someone like me. I have really bad ADHD. And so... like being able to only think about drag, not having to think about my rent, not having to think about what I was going to eat that day. Like
that is a huge one. Being fed, being corralled, being catered to.
It was great. Yeah. I loved it. And everyone's so nice. The thing is like, I heard so many like story. You like watch people's podcasts. You hear some stories and you're like, oh, okay. Well, I just got to get ready for that. And everyone was so kind.
Oh yeah.
And I just was like, this was kind of not what I expected. Every just because, you hear so many stories and maybe things have changed. I don't know, but it was a fun time for me.
Yeah.
I had the most, to the point that we were time to leave and I was like, do we have to?
Yeah.
Like I could do another.
Katie, Ellen, and Erica, 3 PAs that I will never forget for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
These girls were so fierce. Katie, Ellen, and Erica, I know you know who you are.
You know who you are.
The fiercest hoes in the world.
Yeah.
They're the most lovely, wonderful PAs, talent wranglers, who are just because you have no phone and you're just focused on what you got to do, and they're helping you do it, and they're providing all this. They're catering to you and moving you from place to place. Queens walking. It's like they're just, those relationships are so special and they're so wonderful. So many wonderful people on Drag Race behind the scenes.
Everyone. I mean, I really loved. I loved all the producers. It was just like interesting to understand. Oh, everyone wants you to succeed. And the funny thing about it is when you don't succeed, it is because you got it your own way. And I still attest to that. And like as many people who say, they were doing this, and I go, honestly, the only time that I had that problem was when I literally got in my own way. It was me who was thinking that things were happening. They were not happening because at the end of the day, they want a great show.
Yeah.
And when you do well,
everybody does
show.
well. Yeah.
You know,
that's like the best point ever. Nobody's plotting.
Nobody's
scheming, and nobody wants you to fail. They really don't.
They don't.
It's like RuPaul always says, like, just make me laugh. She just wants to laugh. The hoe just wants to laugh.
If you've seen the show, Tamar,
like all she wants to do is laugh. That's it. Just and it's not hard.
And never doesn't want to laugh.
Right. It's
always she said it many times. We're in season 16. If you don't know that by now, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, it's seriously, it's wild. I mean, in when you do have moments like, I think the one thing that is really hard to get used to is like the time though that it takes, because when you pause and have to reposition all the cameras and you're just waiting there, it is a kind of a strange feeling.
Girl, this is me. My whole thing was I came here to do this. Whatever this involves is what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
My life was so, I wouldn't say hectic, but like I was a successful drag queen in Philadelphia, whatever that means. And it was very hard because I had to drive to many different places. And I remember right before leaving to Drag Race, I was like driving to Atlantic City and pulling out all my bags from my car and about to go down. And I remember thinking, oh my God, I can't wait to go on vacation.
Yeah.
And vacation being Drag Race. Like,
damn.
Like I cannot wait to go to Drag Race to vacation because this is so hard. And I know that all I'm going to have to do is the drag.
Yeah.
Like I won't have to lug all these bags around. Yeah. I won't have to do all that hard stuff. I just want to be a fucking diva.
Yeah.
And that's all I want in my life. I'm so over that.
You know what the thing I miss the least about life before Drag Race as a drag queen? The fucking terrifying gut churning dread of waiting behind the curtain at Jacques, wondering if the crowd was going to like me. And on a Saturday night after and this happened a lot because it went a lot of times it went one of two ways, wildly different. Oh yeah.
For you?
For me. And I would go say if I was behind, Destiny goes out and performs and I hated going after her. She's so good and so hot and so amazing. And it kind of was a 50-50 chance sometimes of they're not going to feature me at all.
Really?
Yes. And you're unknown. You have to prove yourself every single time. And sometimes they were not buying what I was selling. And it was humiliating.
I have had that happen for me sometimes, even after Drag Race. But that's,
really?
Well, it's the experience of being, a Black queen. There's you have to, and that's just for everyone. We have to work 7 times as hard to get half as much respect. And I got as far as one could get on this show, and there are people who have way more followers, more people who. I remember at some point during the show, there was a moment where someone said online, "Oh, she's going to be the most unliked winner," because they thought I was going to win. They said she's going to be the most unliked winner ever. And I thought, well, what the fuck did I do to you?
Damn.
Also, what about me makes me unlikable? I've been nothing but helpful to people.
Yeah.
I only talk about self-love and how to love others. And I just operated out of love, kindness, and compassion. And I don't understand what about that makes me unlikable. But there were lots of people who had a lot of things to say about me. And I was just it was I was awestruck by the hatred. And I was just well, this is strange because I could have given you a completely different person. You could have seen someone who is hateable. And that, maybe you would have liked that person better, I guess.
Change your costume, change it
around, honey. But I chose, I've been in anger management and I've done a lot of work on myself. And one of those things is to really get into loving who I am. And it's so much easier to have love, kindness, and compassion for others when you have that for yourself.
Sure.
And so really thought like, this is the me that I want to be in the world. And, you know, it's been amazing. The people who love me, love me. Yeah. And I love them That's too. Great. And that I would not change for the world.
Yeah.
There have been some things that, you know, were more desired by me, but honestly, in time, things will come. And I'm happy about that. But I've had those same feelings where I'm like, okay, let's see how it goes. I'm going to go out. And like sometimes there's 6 people in the audience and I've just been on national television.
Damn.
And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Just happened here.
Yeah. It is the competitive, like, it is a strange thing, the popularity and because what you experience on I mean, we talked about this before in the previous episode, but you know, your experience of who you think is going to, how you think things are going to shake down doesn't necessarily, you know, align with how it actually does. And I remember from season 7, what I thought was going to happen did not happen.
Mm-hmm.
And what a lot of us thought was going to happen did not happen.
Yeah.
It was received so differently than a lot of us had anticipated. And that was really interesting, but I kind of lucked out. But it's weird.
I don't think you lucked out. The thing is, I knew from the day that I met you that once you got on that show, you would be who you are. You'd be the superstar that you are. And everyone doesn't have that thing. Like there are people who are on your season.
They have, the thing about it, people don't realize is that I have a 2-inch penis, and that is my calling card.
Well,
and it's 2 inches hard. Okay. And people can't come for that. You know?
Or on it.
No, but
come with it. There's a lot of things they can't come for on it.
So, and you're talking about negative. What do you pay attention to?
So this is the thing is I don't typically pay attention to those things. Yeah. That was something that it got through.
Yeah.
It got through. I don't really look at a lot of I try to check for the good ones though. And so that's the thing is like you want to say hi to people. Yeah. You want to like engage and you want to be there. And to do that, you have to sift through some shit too sometimes. Yeah. And so what I try to do, I do this exercise especially whenever I have these things. And I've done it do it with me.
Okay.
Real quick. Okay. We're going to put our hands up like this. Put them both up. Okay. And then cross them around yourself. Breathe in and say, I truly love and accept myself. How's that feel? It feels good when you do it. And it doesn't feel, it's not like a cure-all, but like the more you do it, the more you like give yourself the love that you need because no one can love you the way that you can. Like the more you like do it, the less all the bullshit really matters because these people don't know you.
Yeah.
They're not doing what you're doing.
Also, they're not checking for you. They're not buying your merch.
They're not checking for me. They're not buying my merch. Like, they're not doing anything.
They're not coming to your show.
What do I care what you think about me?
They're not buying tickets. Yeah. It is, you know, you're talking about sifting through and things getting through the cracks. I found that even when, and especially when you have a majority of positive feedback, your fucking twisted brain will zero in on you'll shush away you'll like dive through the big lake of positive shit just to get to the bottom to find that one negative rock.
And then that's the reason why I started doing the self-love. And then after I do that, especially when I'm doing that, I start going through the good stuff and start like listening and even responding to those people.
Sure.
Because when you do that, then they respond back with something else that's really sweet. Yeah. And you start to realize that the good cultivates more of that positive energy. Yeah. And I never respond to anyone who has any bullshit to say.
That's good. Yeah. No, I mean, and also, it's interesting. The thing that is different, usually the big difference between a working drag queen, not on Drag Race, and a Drag Race queen is the social element of the job.
Yeah.
The meet and greet. And a lot of times the meet and greet experience or however that manifests is an expensive item and is like the real ticket. Is that the thing that the customer or the the fan really wants. This is the, it's the show is the show. And then sometimes what is desired from, is the meet and greet experience more than the show. They want to meet you more than they want to watch. So sometimes they come to do the meet and greet and they leave.
Sometimes they do that.
Because they're anxious people. They don't want to sit in a crowded, hot, disgusting bar or whatever and not be able to see her. Anyways, who is the master of that is Bianca.
Yeah.
She is like her what is that? Her people skills
is off the chart.
Off the chart.
Yeah.
And she takes time with every single person and she makes them feel like they are the most important person in the room.
Like her.
Yeah. It's so like amiable, personable, fluent in that language of like direct, warm communication. It's really impressive.
I think she's a serial killer.
Yeah. She's, what? I've stayed at her house before. She is a really remarkable person because that bitch is up at sunrise.
Wow.
She is doing the most. And she's like, when she's making her costumes, my friend Andrew just went to stay with her to help her with some costume stuff. The way that she's meticulous with her costume construction is off the chart.
Yeah.
She's incredible.
And that's, I wish sometimes I was like that. My brain doesn't
Do you make
function.
Shit?
Oh yeah.
I love making shit.
I don't make stuff as much anymore just because I'm traveling so much. Yeah. But I used to make a lot of my things prior to Drag Race, and then getting on Drag Race, we have to make shit. You have to know how to at least.
Those sewing machines on Drag Race are horrible.
No, they were great.
You liked them?
The ones we had.
I fucking hated the ones they gave
I'm
us.
sure y'all had some horrible ones back in the day.
They were horrible. These shit.
We have a budget.
These shit ass singers. Fucking hated that shit. What are you the most proud of on your season?
Honestly, I'm the most proud of
what particular moment, challenge, or runway?
Okay, I was going to say that I'm most proud of the way that I was able to carry myself, because at the end of the day, I didn't have any enemies. No one, everyone respected me.
So you were able to fool the girls.
I was able to get tag, honey. They thought that I liked them, honey. Hated them. No.
So you were able to conceal your lizard skin, you lizard honey, bitch.
By the way. I was very happy about that. No, but like being able to like, a lot of them were young too. Yeah. Like Plasma, being able to like turn someone who is really talented and say, "Yo, look at yourself. Yeah. You're great. You could be greater. Yeah, and this is how it could be." And her not to be able to her not going, "Well, fuck you, bitch," but her to go, "Oh, thank you for that. That, you know."
I remember you were telling me at 35 you were the grandma.
At 35 I was the grandma. 34 I was the grandma. Like the mother of all.
So funny.
At some point, Tsunami called me the Morgan Freeman of drag, and then she go, "Oh wait, no, that's RuPaul." And I was like, but I guess I'm most proud. Honestly, the talent show or the finale, our finale performance when I did the orange thing.
That was incredible.
Thank you.
It was like, I was like, my jaw dropped.
Thank
it was
you.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. How did that happen?
It's a thing that I've done for many, many years. I've always worn, like, my thing for pageants is I'm an opera singer, so I will sing an aria with a very large thing, and then it will come off and we'll dance. And because my whole thing is that I'm not just a singer, but I'm also a sickening dancer and lip syncer, and like I can do it all. Like, let's do it. And I wanted my song to be about self-love, and I wanted to be about like really when you get into yourself, the amazing things you can accomplish. And I feel like, that number, everyone has always said that was sickening.
It's beyond. It's just so like, it's just so, the thing that it accomplished what I feel like is so often the not able to be accomplished on Drag Race, which is a larger than life production.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I didn't miss a step, and that's what I was really proud of. Didn't miss.
When you hit and you hit,
and you hit, bitch. When my pussy hit the floor and it bounced up, and everyone stood up. And everyone stood up. Baby, it beat up that goddamn floor, honey. But when everyone stood up, they weren't standing. They stood up out of like necessity. They were like this the whole time, and then they ended, and they were like, ah! I was like, oh, this is crazy.
Oh, what a there's such a those moments of undeniable triumph.
Yeah,
intoxicating.
No one, not a soul can clock,
honey. And they don't want to because they can't. The clocks are all busted,
honey.
Switzerland shut down,
baby. If you thought you could clock, you can't even read. Not honey. Functionally
not
illiterate.
A watchmaker in sight. Everything. Oh, so fierce. And then okay, the last thing I think I really liked your I was talking to Jimbo earlier. Her season that she did the All Stars, she did Shirley Temple, made me LOL. The James Brown character shoe moment in your Snatch Game was very funny.
Thank you. You're wearing a character shoe. I said, I don't wear character shoes. I don't know who you talk about. So no, but you were wearing character shoes yesterday. I just saw you. What are you talking about? Stop trying to take me out of this character,
great.
bitch.
I love it. It was the commitment, the character commitment on James Brown was amazing. Who was the funniest during Snatch Game?
Probably Plain, honestly.
Oh, yeah. She's okay.
Yeah.
She just reminds me that I should have done a Slavic character.
But whatever.
Yeah. Anybody who bombed on your Snatch Game?
Nymphia.
Oh, yeah. Was she Jane Goodall?
She was Jane Goodall, girl.
It was so weird. So weird.
Oh, it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Baby.
So weird.
It was Jane Goodall, and then Tsunami did the Go-To Fairy, which was... Oh, God. That was not great either,
I mean, at this point, Snatch Game is tough because it's like, who hasn't been done, but...
I mean, it's not who hasn't. It's just... It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you just got to be funny. Just be funny. You don't have to look like them. You don't have to sound like them. You just make her laugh.
Make Rue laugh.
Yeah.
The more you don't sound or look like... Except for my thing was... Rue was a big fan of James Brown, so that was my cross to bear.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think it's not a Snatch Game, but it's like the funniest thing about Queen of Flips with her braces doing her Cher impersonation. So I can't. I'm great. Yeah, that's it. That is great. So funny.
I was like Kermit the Cher.
So fucking weird.
Yeah,
so fucking weird. Fuck. Well, okay. So we got through 15 seconds of Drag Race, so now we gotta wrap it up. What are you most excited in your life? Like, what are you most excited about in your life right now?
Well, I have good new music coming out.
Ooh. And the radio.
Yeah, we talked about that. But I am on the radio. And I have my new album is coming out. It's called the Cristál Ball. Ooh. And it's a love fest of music, and with one thing for the girls who sifted through. You know what I mean?
Okay. Oh,
yeah. And I have the new song "Keep It Cute" is coming out on my birthday on September 27th.
Fierce.
And I'm going on tour in Australia.
Fierce.
I'm going on tour in the UK, so come and see us.
And see the girl.
I think it's me, Nymphia, and Plain in Australia, and then me, Plain, and Morphine in the UK, and then I'm going on the Christmas tour with Murray and Peter.
Fierce.
And Soundcake is one of my biggest, I think, accomplishments this year. Me, Monet, and Thorgy, and our director James Blaschko performed at Lincoln Center.
Mama.
To a sold-out crowd of over 2,700 people.
Lincoln Center.
And it was really wonderful, and it's my dream is to travel the world doing these concerts with orchestras. And that's the funny thing is it's a dream that I had a long time ago that Mimi I'm First helped me come to.
Mimi I'm First, number 3 in the voting.
I could
not,
honey.
Sorry.
The one and only. And so, and then one day when it finally came together, we talked to Lincoln Center and they said, yeah, we want to do this. And it's just amazing to be able to live your dream. So hopefully my prayer is in the next years that we're going to be taking Soundcake all around the world. And that's what I'm most excited about is being able to sing opera around the world. Any opera houses want to have Sapphira Cristál?
Sydney Opera House, we're looking at you.
Sydney, anyone. Because I want to be Carmen too. That's the thing that I want to do.
Okay. Fierce.
But make sure you follow me on all.
Which is SAPPHIRA
CRISTAL. But also like stream my music. It's good music, and it's really good for your soul. It's great.
Give it a stream.
Give it a
listen.
Listen to it. Wiggle to it. Dance to it.
Oh, you're in the car at a red light. Pop her on.
Pop her on. Pop her in.
Pop her in.
Pop her in. Pop her in.
Well, thank you so much, and congratulations on all your success.
Thank
you. I'm
you.
very happy for you. It is all well deserved, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Oh, well, thank you so very much. I love you too.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much.